Rainbows for All Children has a vast network and community of passionate individuals who herald our mission to provide free peer support groups to youth around the world. We got the opportunity to sit and chat with some of them through a series of interviews. Welcome to the Rainbows Chats. After the storm, we shine.
My name is Alex Versage, and I work as an expressive arts therapist at Rainbow Mental Health. Back in first grade, I was one of the very first kiddos put into the Rainbows program. I was in it up until 8th grade, and then I got reconnected to Rainbows for Stephanie Gary when she needed someone to speak in an event. I came from a divorced home, and that's what originally brought me into Rainbows. I struggled just with not knowing. I was sad a lot and not knowing kind of where I belonged or how to navigate life. Joining Rainbows, it was like a year later, I lost my grandma, who was like my best friend. And so those two elements combined, I really was lost. So luckily I was already in Rainbows when my grandma had passed. So it was helping the process. But as someone who was the only kiddo in my whole school who had divorced parents, it really took its toll on me in terms of like feeling like I was being singled out and feeling very alone. Luckily, the moderator, I would say, who I worked with, I had all 7 years while I was there, really knew how to work with kids in a really great way to really help me through the grief that I was experiencing. She was incredibly nurturing. I remember that, so soft-spoken, and she was like a grandma. And I think truly, like at the time where I had lost mine, she filled that void in that place in my life, so yeah. For me, first, I was the only one. And I think it was 3rd grade. 2 other kiddos had lost a parent, and it was the 3 of us up until 8th grade. And then the only reason that ended is because I went on to high school, and it wasn't offered in high school or anything like that. So for me, it was like a form of therapy, but in a much more specific way, dealing with grief and loss. The creative making and expression portion of meeting every week, it allowed me an opportunity to process my emotions, which is something I was having a very difficult time to do. I didn't know how to express it in words, so Rainbows kind of gave me an outlet to channel that through art. In fact, part of the reason why I went into the field that I did was specifically because of that art making piece. So I knew as a kiddo that I had a really hard time trying to find words to express what I needed to. So like I said, Rainbows gave me kind of that opportunity to really explore my feelings in a different kind of way. And that brought me through life. Like went to art, and then art led into finally discovering how therapy and art can work together. And so, yeah, that's how I got my master's degree in expressive arts therapy, is really because of a lot of my background and what I had been exposed to and experienced. Modalities of art and music and drama and writing techniques, all of those things I think can just bring so much, especially to a child's life, of really helping them cope and process. So I think Rainbows for me truly taught me about resiliency, and the coping piece of things, which I've encountered a lot throughout my life, where those skills I have needed in very profound ways. And so I really think that those are 2 of the most important elements that Rainbows brought for me. Connection, especially in a time where I was feeling very alone. Rainbows brought me a connection that when you can connect to peers in a different way, sometimes adults don't understand. They do, but they understand life in a different way than a child understands it or is experiencing it. And I think that's also helped with my own relationship with my daughter, and what things she may experience throughout life in the work that I do, the clients that I work with. Yeah, I think it's brought just a lot of awareness and a lot of positivity into my life. So I'm very grateful. I've told Stephanie this many times, incredibly grateful that my mom put me in rainbows, and that rainbows has truly been something that is a standout part of my heart and life. And I've said it many times. I've told other families who have gone through loss and grief, 100% connect with rainbows, connect with rainbows, connect with rainbows. I'll give you their contact information. Yeah, without a doubt. I think it has been beneficial on both a personal level for me, my own professional level. It helped me out with my family. There's been so many benefits to being a part of this family, kind of, because I really do feel like Rainbows is a huge family that expands nationwide. I mean, like, right? It's just been amazing. And to reconnect with adults who are also part of it, like, that's been really cool too, to meet other people now as adults who were also part of Rainbows when they were kids. It's just really cool. Know that there's always somebody there in your corner. There's always somebody there to lend a hand. There's always somebody there to listen. Even if you just need to sit in silence, and with Rainbows, I always felt like there was someone there for me.
Thanks for watching this installment of the Rainbows Chats. Follow us on social media and join our mission of creating communities of young people who are facing loss and uncertainty so that no one has to grieve alone. Together, we can create a world where after the storm, we shine.